we have to keep this out. There we go. I think we are on now. So let's keep
We're
laughing.
live.
All the dirty jokes are now all the dirty jokes are all out of the way now. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
We are back for a new NSL Live Talk on oh, it's so difficult these days to keep track of time. It's Monday, the 15th.
Monday afternoon.
It must be the 15th
Monday
of February,
afternoon for us.
because yesterday was Valentine's Day. I believe that is the 14th. So it must be the 15th. Happy Valentine's Day, first of all. I love you guys.
Oh. Thank you, Kurt.
And we have new participants in the NSL Live Talk. Not the guy on the top left there, we know him, Joey Jones. Welcome back.
How you doing?
But
and Kurt, I know you haven't met Hans.
Yeah, well,
Kurt, you haven't met Hans?
I probably have met him before, but you will introduce Hans to us so everybody knows who we have as a new guest here today.
Okay, well, Hans, I believe Hans is the first-time guest on the NSL Talk. Welcome to NSL Talk, buddy. Hans is
Thank you.
long-standing member of the Danish national team, and the project is going to get started again. How many years were you on the national team, more or less? You don't have to be exact.
Yeah, well, it started out with another team than the current one. That was back in 16. That was the first year where we went to Chicago together.
Yeah, that's when I was working with you guys.
Yeah.
And then, nice.
But we did work together before that, but that wasn't, let's say, on a national team.
National team basis, right?
Yeah, that was the runner-up teams.
Let me ask you. Let me throw in a quick question. I'm going to shut up quickly. But just one quick question, Hans. Is your last name Oksen?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So I do know you. All right. Okay.
It is actually.
I leave the rest up to Joey again.
Yeah, okay. A quick question. I actually used to do a little bit of boxing, also, competitive boxing, and there was a good name for that.
Yes, Oksen.
Yes.
So the project is getting going again. I thank you for asking me to be the coach. I appreciate that. I think after the last nationals, Hans took me aside after a few drinks and said, "I hate you." But obviously he doesn't hate me that much. So they've asked me back, and I appreciate that. And I know Kurt wanted to find out what's going on with teams in the international scene. So Hans, tell us what's happening.
Well, FS has been struggling a little bit in Denmark the last years. I think that the last really, really strong team was actually Voluntas, which was back in, I don't know when, 14 or something like that, maybe. So, and with Pangea back in 16, when we were again, or when we were, let's say, together, I really thought that team would stay together and become really strong. But then we had a guy getting sick and falling out and putting in a replacement. And yeah, you guys know how it is. And one of the problems has been that there's not really been, let's say, a strong runner-up team for quite a while. So if someone fell out or had to leave the team or got sick, we didn't really have a strong replacement. Yeah. So not let's say not any new talent really pushing forward. So we always had to go back and ask some of the older guys to start up again, or if they were interested. So I think that's one of. Sorry?
I said you also lost Fleming to the military, right? He went off and served and did some stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So a couple of people there.
Yeah. So that was and also the recent years, the Danish military also really, let's say, focused on FS again, which took some of the really good jumpers from the pool, so to say, of good jumpers. With actually all of WAF warriors are now jumping as military personnel. So that's probably a strong team that we'll see there again.
Are they competing CISM and FAI?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's more that they'll have like more people in the pool, and then they'll just send whoever is available or strongest at the time. So it's not like a really set team, but I think they have a pool of, I don't know, 6 or 7 jumpers, and they'll put in whoever's available.
And the federation is kind of involved in putting a project together, right? I know I've been asked to coach 2 teams, and I think there's some other activities going on with the federation.
Yes,
I think build up a depth of talent.
Yeah, I think that we have a new board on the national federation, and they're like brand new. I think they've been on it for 2 years, 1 or 2 years. So younger people, they are, let's say, quite strong, and they're working hard to, let's say, lift everything and push everything a little bit forward. And one of the things that they are actually doing is that they divided everything into, let's say, 4 tracks or 4 main focus areas. And I wrote it down as a note because I was sure I was going to forget what they were. So the first one is actually to maintain a growth in the clubs. So this Denmark is, I don't know, we have this volunteer structure with a lot of smaller clubs with smaller Cessna 182s, and then a couple of bigger ones with the 208s. So that's more or less the complete fleet in Denmark.
You had a Skyvan back in the day.
Yeah, but that was actually always rented in. Was from Pink, so it was not. Okay. Yeah, so it's quite new that we actually have bigger airplanes in Denmark. We had a Nomad some years back with the water coming through the roof and stuff like that. So great fun plane though, but yeah, everything else that's been bigger we've rented or yeah.
Okay. But now you have 2 caravans. 2 caravans
exactly.
in.
Yeah. So it's it's really a luxury for us, a small country of Denmark. We don't have to go abroad every time we want to fly something a little bit bigger. Yeah. So that was one of the main tracks, was just to keep the structure and keep everything going in the clubs, and then also. They want to evolve the facilities, so make sure that the clubs are well run and strong and everything is working. Yeah, and then also make sure that was track 2, and then track 3 is that they want to, let's say, evolve and also keep a high standard of instructors in Denmark, keeping in mind that everything is volunteer, no one's getting paid. So it's quite important that people keep putting time into this. So, and also with, let's say, a lot of focus on safety. Safety first.
It's always important.
Yeah. And then of course the track 4, which is the one that's important to us today, is the elite. So everyone who really looks at this as a sport, and what their focus is on getting let's say, we call it a red thread. I don't know if that's an international term, but a clear line from, let's say, not beginner, but when you have, let's say, you have your C license, then you've decided you want to move forward, and then to actually see yourself in the role as a national athlete at some point.
To map out a roadmap for younger jumpers to see their path, either canopy piloting or VFS or FS or whatever the discipline grade.
Yeah. So they're trying to make it like a let's say a really good company that shows all the employees, if you fill out this, you're ready to become a senior manager or whatever, just to show people that this is actually possible and this is the way you need to go if you want to go down that route. And I think that's quite good, and I think it's very important. And one of the ways that they're trying to make this more visible is actually that they want to keep the the national team and these elite teams, and also this we have this how to call it, and well, we have like 3 stages, and we have this rookies, and then probably call it upcoming, and then elite. So we divide it into these 3 pools and show, let's say, the upcomings, how or rookies, that they rode up, and then get everyone together and train together, so that the new guys are actually training and sitting in the airplane with the national team. And it's
that's one thing I noticed with my emails with the federation, is that all the training is going to be in Denmark this time.
So that's insane.
So, I mean, it's always a struggle with the weather, as I've found coaching the Swedish national teams in Sweden. But I do think it's good for the local clubs to keep the money at the club and keep the elite guys. They don't just disappear to Florida and nobody ever sees them until the nationals, when they show up and win, and then they leave. Yeah. So there's definitely some benefits to the national progression, having the teams train at home, keeping the local drop zones busy and all that stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I really do see that there's a lot of benefit in it, and also that you can actually share, let's say, the national coach, and let's say if you were, let's say, probably next year or the year after, the federation would ask you, who do you think should be on the national team? And then you would actually have seen some of the other jumpers than not only the national team.
Yeah, they've asked me to come to the nationals, and I said I would support all the teams. You know, obviously the teams I have mainly, but I can give tips, and it'll be. I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Bert, do you have any questions there?
Oh, I got plenty of questions.
Well, go.
Well, first of all,
I was just gonna, one thing. I know I can hog the airtime, so I'm gonna step back a little bit and let you talk as well, Bert.
No, stay here. My first question goes to you anyway. You just escaped Scandinavia to Texas, and now you're back involved in Scandinavia, a different country.
Well, we went to Texas just for the holidays to see the family and just use this time off as best we could. I mean, it's been when things shut down again here in Europe, all the Europe closed, and they're still closed, all the tunnels. And so I canceled all my work until there's something else that just came up, but until the end of March, we canceled everything. We just no traveling in the quarantines. So we went to Texas quickly for like 2 months. And now we're back in Sweden. I can just
back in Sweden. Yes, show us something.
Got a nice deer out there eating on the field.
Yeah, there it is. It's blue skies. So it's pretty there. Very beautiful.
And I just bought a season pass for the hill that's like 10 kilometers away from the house. It's just a one lift, little small hill, but it was pretty reasonable price season pass. So we're just going to ski and try to stay fit. And my mom just got diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's got surgery coming up. So we're going to go to the U.S. again and support her and my stepdad, and cook and clean and just take care of the households while she's under chemo and all that stuff. So I've canceled April as well. And my plan is to fly back in May to do the first camp with these guys.
Sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that, Joey.
That's life, you know. So I'm happy to be able to go and spend a month and a half there. If it was non-corona time, it would be difficult to bag out of some of the commitments that you have with national teams and all that. So it's nice that I can go and be there for a month, 5 weeks or something, and help out when they really need it. So I'm happy about that. It's all good news from the doctors, but it's still cancer. So, you know, But anyway, I'm happy to be able to go and help out. And so it's nice to have this time off, and I had to cancel. I was supposed to go to South Africa for their nationals, but that obviously got canceled in April. And I have one other gig that I'm just going to bag out of, but it's just a speed flying thing. And I think it'll get canceled as well. I don't know if we're going to be up and running yet, but I'm hoping for May. I have tickets back here to Sweden to pick up my van and drive to Denmark, and then drive it to either England or Spain, depending on what happens with my other commitments. And plans are, I'm tired of making plans because they get canceled. So
Whenever
that's what's going on with my schedule in my life, and my next job is with Hans.
Whenever things are getting canceled, you can send them our way because we'll have the Shamrock Showdown in March, which is going to happen. So
it's going to happen.
Everybody who wants to do something, you can travel to Skydive City in Florida and compete in March. Anyhow,
except you're not. I don't think you're foreigners. Can we travel to the U.S. right now? Nobody can come here.
We will find out. I don't know. I have no idea.
March is far away.
Yes, far away. Far away. Next month.
Yeah. Well, let's hope things change. Anyway.
Joey, how long is your agreement with the Danish Federation with this project?
It's 1 year for now, but I have been asked to go to the selection process in September and stay with them for next year as well. So, I mean, but it's a 1 year contract with the option to renew. You know, it's a 2 year intent with a 1 year contract. We have to, make sure Hans doesn't hate me too much after the end of next year.
But Joe, you have to hate your coach a little bit.
I was going to say, I want you to hate me a little bit.
Yeah. If you don't get pushed, then you're not moving, huh?
Yes, Hans, don't worry. He has become a little bit nicer over the years, Joey. So it's okay.
He's getting softer with the age.
Getting softer. More refined.
Hans, where are you? I see a bicycle in the background. It doesn't look like you're using it much there if it's in your living room.
It's on, let's say, one of these home trainer stands. So it's actually, you can bicycle inside because the weather in Denmark is like at Joey's. It's actually snowing quite heavy right now. Sorry?
You would need some heavy tires on that bike to go outside.
I was actually outside biking yesterday, but that was on a mountain bike though. And we were actually, I live like 2 kilometers from the Western Sea. And we were actually biking on the beach, on a little bit on the ice as well. It was quite cold, but a really nice experience. I have a friend of mine who's like, he's badass. He pushes me a little. So yeah, so the body is a bit sore today.
on the Western Sea, on the western side of Denmark, the water never freezes. On the eastern side, the Eastern Sea there, that is, if it gets really cold, that freezes sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that. But also, I live in Esbjerg, or one of the suburbs to Esbjerg, and we have like a small bay right there, and that actually freezes.
Yeah. So you could ride your bicycle on you could ride your bicycle on ice there.
Yeah, but only just a little bit because I'm not that stable a bicycle rider that I should be riding on any sort of slippery surfaces.
And
I have enough trouble just riding straight.
In the Netherlands, all people have their ice skates on now. They're skating down the canals and down the river, everything. So that's what are you doing in Denmark?
Same in Denmark. Exactly. And this week is off. Week 7 is the holidays, and no one's able to go anywhere. So I think we'll see a lot of people or a lot of kids on sleds and skates, and
how's the COVID situation or the virus situation in Denmark? Is it a lockdown? Most parts of Europe, or how is it?
Everything is locked down. It's not good. Let's say, put it like that. Right now we have a 5-person restriction, so you're not allowed to be more than 5 people, which means all clubs and everything is closed down. All these small, let's say, we have these training. I don't know what this is called, but it's like a volunteer kind of thing where you have these small. The Danish word is gone, but like the head of the delegate or the federation, we have like smaller ones in every club, and we actually have these generalforsamling, which is like a meeting where you tell all your members what you've been up to, and then they re-elect you to be like the board. Board. That was the word.
Board association.
Yeah. So we have to cancel it this year. So everything is getting pushed, and it's not good. And But we're doing the best we can and preparing for whenever spring gets here, and hopefully this corona will get rid of loosen this grip, and also that the government will allow us to actually start training and start jumping again, which we are looking forward to. But let's say normally it is low season, but we are still jumping though. But yeah.
Well, it's a good time for making plans and putting things together. Actually, you don't have usually when you're active, when you're out there in the field, you don't have much time to be on the drawboard and making plans and writing project concepts and all that kind of stuff. So something to do at least. You don't have to use the nighttime for that. As you mentioned earlier, Pangera, right? Or Pandera.
Mm-hmm.
It was a civilian team with Shettle Norton, right? So
yes, exactly.
National team in those days, that was a civilian team. And it sounded to me earlier when you explained what's going on in Denmark. There is the VAT warriors, as they were called, and that's a military team. And then now there is a civilian project guided by the Federation again. So that is somehow those both organizations are not working together, right? So the military tries to do their thing, and then now the civilian part of skydiving is doing a separate thing.
Yeah, that's correct. So that, of course, we are, jumping together and competing in the same competitions. But yeah, let's say the military part is for military only, right? So yeah, so for those of us who chose a different path than the military, we have to to push forward in the civilian ranks, which so I'm not unhappy about. It's fine for me.
There's some kind of a rivalry. I do remember that in the past there was a mixture somehow. The military teams were not all just simply military lineups. There was a overlapping area where military guys were in civilian teams and not the other way around, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah.
But now they're really separated, and you are having kind of a rivalry, and at the national championships you will be really opposing each other for the top spot for the national team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good. I for me, let's say the fight between, let's say, me and the VAF Warriors has been going on for, I don't know, 6 years. So I've been let's say we've been runner-up for just fighting their, let's say, tail for so many years. So I'm hoping that they'll stay together and keep competing, because that whole having someone to compete with, even on a national basis, I think it's very important. And although that's some points there've been, let's say, a bit of, let's say, not that always positive energy between the teams. I think that also we've become a little bit older and we love each other, and yeah, I just really like competing against them and other teams that are on the same level, because the best competitions are the ones where you're just winning by 1 point or losing by 1 point and you're struggling all the way and every exit counts. And I love those competitions. They really, it makes everything worth all the, all the time. Yeah.
All in the same
so
boat.
I hope they keep going, because of course I want to beat them. So and if they stop, then I can't beat them. So yeah.
So let's
let that be a call out for the VAF Warriors. Go up.
They will hear
I have a strong team this year.
Yeah,
I have a strong team this year.
Well, let's talk about some names. So give us some information about the lineup, because so far I only know Hans Oksen is is involved in this, and Joey Jones. But who do you have?
It's if I can just take the little detour. Actually, the team that I'm on now, the team is called Sky for All, which is was actually started up, I think 4 or 5 years ago. And then when I think it was in 17 or 18, maybe 17 or 18, there was simply no national team. There was no, it was, let's say, there wasn't that many people to jump with, actually. And I started, went to 2 rookie, more or less rookie skydivers, I think around 300-400 jumps each, and asked them, do you want to be on a team? And they said yes, because that team that actually they had was Sky for All, and that was it was falling apart. They had people leaving and so on, and then I asked one of my old friends who was actually also competing for the national spot way back in the time. He was actually one of the long-time members of WAF Warriors, Martin Mikkelsen. He was on that team, and also with Henning. So I asked him if he wanted to get back into four-way. He was doing canopy piloting for some years, and he said yes. And so we started up, and then actually after one season, Martin not Martin Mikkelsen, but the other one, Halfa is called. He had to stop due to kids and a lot of things. And then we got a Vibeke on. Vibeke, who's been jumping for a long time, really, really good jumper. Fun fact is actually she was my coach on the very, very first tunnel camp I was on. So she was struggling with me just going backwards on the outside ridge of the tunnel. And I think I took out her and the tunnel rat, and I think ended up someone just jumped on me to stop that big lump of meat just going backwards in the tunnel. So that was my first, let's say, training session with Vibeke, but we're now teammates. And the good thing is that she was actually stand-in for the team the year before, because when someone was sick or not showing up, so she was like filling in. So that was quite easy to get her on the team. And then again, the year after, another one stopped, and we were lucky enough to get Ulrik on the team, Ulrik Høsberg, which was also long time jumper on national levels. Last thing he did on the top level was I think a Blue Pelican, which was VFS in Norway. So he has a lot of jumps and really talented skydiver. Really good. Ulrik's on there again. Nice. Yeah, so there's, and then this year, the last guy of the original Sky for All had to quit as well due to job and the new kid. So once again, after one season, I was out trying to find a substitute, and I got Fleming back on the team.
Hey,
yeah, so Fleming Andersen, for me, one of the absolute best formation skydivers in Denmark, if not the best, is back on the team. So this is a very, very strong lineup. And on video, we have Anders Krappenhøft, who's been national skydive videographer for all the national teams, even for WAF Warriors, and he's been jumping the videos for all the top teams for a lot of years.
And that's having a good video man is so important. I know so many teams really focus on the team and their own flying and the coach, and they've got all this plan, and then they get me a video guy that's doing the jumps for free, and I can't coach if I can't see the jump, Yeah. And or in competition, somebody gets nervous and costs them a bunch of points. I'm sure you've been there, Hans. I know I have. I'm sure Kurt,
more than once.
Well. Yeah. Yes, more than once. So that's great to hear that you've got a very experienced videographer. It really takes a load off the coach's mind as well as the competitors when you know that you've got somebody solid backing you up.
And
just if I can add just sorry, Kurt.
And he is very funny too. He's a pleasure to have him.
Yeah,
we need someone to balance out Fleming's seriousness.
Yeah, that's Anders. That's Anders.
Not we have to be careful which fun stories we tell. But one of my very first team formation skydiving team, Krabbe was also a videographer, and I think that he scared one of the one of the jumpers away. It was a female jumper. I think she just didn't get his humor. I think so. I think he scared her away. I'm quite sure about that.
I think we'll be able to handle it in this group. It sounds like a pretty resilient group there.
Yeah.
So if I have this correctly, then basically the project is more or less two teams, one A team, the elite team, a B team, a farm team, something like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, the way that it's set up now is that the Danish Federation wants, let's say, they want to try to have two elite teams. So we get some funding in Denmark, so support, and they want to have the same funding for two teams, which I think is great. You could always want, let's say, more help on the economical side, but let's say even just getting some help is great, and we appreciate it highly. And so they want to, let's say, two elite teams, which should be fighting for the national slot all the time. And then, of course, on the sideline, you have the military team. So this is two civilian teams. And then you have let's say the what you call the runner-up team, which would be a team that's getting the support and hopefully training with the national coach, so that he really knows them as well as the elite teams. And then you have this, let's say, the rookie camp, for the rookies, we're trying to develop a national coach who will be responsible of, let's say, finding new talent and also helping them forward and getting them on teams and trying to evolve them and push them forward, showing them the way.
So that will be one of the two elite team members will take that role.
No, we're actually trying to not do it like that, because we want them to train alongside the national team, and then you'd have one guy actually should be focused on training, and then training another guy. So we have asked some of the older jumpers, maybe not of age but of experience, that are not competing anymore, to come back or maybe take this role if they could see themselves in this role, which I think is a really good way to do it, because before it hasn't really been, like, say, systemized, put in a system. It's just been whoever had the extra time or extra resources and to do it. And again, not putting anyone on a pedestal, but someone like Fleming, he's been pulling a lot of weight for a lot of years. He was a coach of my very first team. He was a national competitor then, and he was my first coach was Fleming. He taught me a lot the first years, for sure. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
now
for sure. I'm glad he's back.
I heard it all about the civilian project and a lot of names and all that, but I did not hear Kjetil Norden's name in it. Does that really mean there is a project, a civilian project, and he is not a part of it?
Yeah, but Kjetil, he's I think I'm afraid that we've lost him for 8-way.
Yeah.
I asked him. Back, I think when we started the Sky for All, and I actually asked him then if he wanted to could see himself in this, and already back then we had a 4-year plan, and the plan was to become national team and going for World Championships in 22. And he said, "I'm not going back on the national team. I'm done with that. If you want me on a national team, it has to be 8-way." So that was I really like Kjetil, and we were peace partners, and I had so many good times and so many good experiences with him. I would love to jump with him again, but my heart is with 4-way, and I can't leave that at this point. So maybe when I get old, then I'll start doing 8-way.
Yeah,
I think
I can say it's sad to hear Kjetil not in there. Kjetil, if you listen to this, it was a pleasure working with you back in 2016. I was hoping you'd be on the team, but I understand 8-ways. I could make some comments about 8-way, but I'll keep them to myself. But I'm with Hans. It's kind of a retirement event.
But I have to say that I really enjoy doing 8-way though, and we have had 8-way nationals mainly driven actually by Kjetil, that they were back because we've had a long, let's say, pause with 8-way nationals in Denmark. But I think 8-way nationals have been I think last 3 years at least.
Cool.
Yeah, and I have to say that I'm almost. I've actually had more. I think almost more success with 8-way than 4-way, because I think I've won all the 8-way competitions more or less that I've competed in. I've actually won, and I think that was back in 14. I think we were at the XP actually. Now that you mentioned the XP some time ago, Kurt, and we were. I think it was with the Steam. We were called Aerodyne Steam back then, and again competing with the VAF Warriors, and we just said, okay, let's do 8-way as well. And guys were like, but actually, I think when we were actually ahead, we were in line for the gold medal at some point. I think people stopped laughing at us. I think we left with a silver medal. I think just I had no idea what I was doing. Just grab that leg, and be careful with that head coming through. And yeah, so I don't know any of the formations really still for 8-way. So yeah, it's a big.
It is difficult to be consistent with 8-way from Cessna 182s and 185s. That's kind of not so easy to do.
Yeah. Now you have 2 caravans though, so.
Yeah, but also
caravans, they could get some.
But one of the bigger changes or game changes for 8-way could actually be that now in Europe we have, also close to Denmark, we have tunnels that are big enough for 8-way. We have a big one in Berlin, it's quite close. Hurricane Factory, beautiful tunnel, perfect stable wind. Facilities are really nice.
Wemby,
yeah,
tunnel's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Anyhow, this time I think we lost Kjetil not to 8-way, we lost him to the magazine. It looks like he is starting a new project, a magazine in Norway, and I think he's very busy with that. So we will hopefully see the first edition soon. Now, Hans, I heard a lot of names, but I'm still down. There are 2 lineups, 2 elite teams. And between all the names that you gave me, do I have this somehow correct? That you have in your lineup now, let's say that there are 2 lineups, 2 teams. One team it's you, and you have Vibeke and Henning.
Not Henning. Ulrik and Fleming. So Ulrik Høsberg, Fleming Andersen. Yeah, and if
Vibeke.
Sorry to. Yeah, and I like that you say that it's my lineup, because if we go back in history, like say way back, even before I start jumping, then actually the 3 other team members, they were actually on a team called Sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's my team, I feel like I'm getting on their team, and if we look back a little shorter, then they were actually also competing, the 3 of them, at the Tunnel Championships in 19, where they were the runner-up team. And on the team, they had one of the old guys from the golden age of skydiving in Denmark, Rasmus. Yeah. Oh, not Rasmus. Rasmussen. His name is lost.
Jesper
Rasmussen. Yes. Thank you. It was gone. Yeah. So he was actually on that team, and so I feel that I'm the new guy. I'm the rookie with these 3 very experienced skydivers, and it'll be good. I'm looking forward to next year. I'm just really hoping that this season will start soon, because and we are hoping that also, even if Russia gets cancelled, then next year we will definitely be in Arizona for sure. We will be in Arizona next year.
This year's Danish nationals would be outdoor nationals would be the qualification for Russia.
No. We are the national team. So Russia, let's say the ticket to Russia is secured. That will be us. So yeah.
Okay. So the
team... of course, with the corona and also this, we have this doping thing with Russia going on as well. So there's a lot of ifs. Hopefully, it will be a little more stable next year.
So Vibeke and Oleg and Fleming and you would go to Russia with Anders on camera.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
But this was not the lineup that won the qualification. It's a lineup that is assigned by the association, by the federation.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
We actually last year at nationals, different lineup though. We were runner-ups. Yeah. So So the civilian national team lost to the military team. I think with something 0.1. It was the smallest margin ever. So that was it was quite nice. It was a good competition. I'm unhappy that we lost it, but it was a really good competition.
But what is the reason that the winner, which is the military team, the VAF, sorry, I said VAF Warriors, what's the reason that they are not going to Russia?
They declined it. They said no. They had, I don't know, if they had other applications or maybe it conflicted with something. Yeah, I'm not sure. They said no, thank you.
So we have the second elite team, you call it. There are 2 Sky for All members, and then who else? Or who are the Sky for All members anyway?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Who's on the second?
The second lineup.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, but that's not called Sky for All. That's at this point, actually, there was not the DFU. They decided not to, let's say, point out a second team. So this year we won't have 2 elite teams side by side, and that's simply because they didn't think that they had enough, let's say, experience. The other guys who applied for actually to be called an elite team yet. So they became this, let's say, runner-up team, not runner-up team, but what did we call them last time we spoke about them? Not rookies, but some,
the B team,
the B team, yeah,
B team, farm team, whatever.
Farm team.
So there will be a selection for the second team.
No, not this year, not in 21. No. But of course we will have this, let's say, not elite team, but the runner-up for elite team, and that will be a team called Subsonic, which has a really nice team, and they've been pushing forward, really training a lot the last, I think, 2-3 years. Unfortunately, they as well, I think primarily due to Corona, had to replace, I think actually they ended up replacing 2 of their members. I think maybe a loss of jobs or I'm not sure about the correct or the right exact course, but they're pushing forward. They have a big training budget. They're quite ambitious, and they have chosen a very, very good coach when Joe is not around, and his name is Fleming Andersen. So Fleming will actually be coaching the runner-up team.
Good.
Wow, there is a lot of there's information that I have to sort now a little bit. So Hans, you could actually do me a big favor and email me the names, so I have that all in the correct order. I do have the top team now. I have that together. I would also be interested, why you said that earlier, the VAF Warriors, they have actually a pool of 5, 6, maybe even 7 potential team members there, and you don't know yet exactly who is going to compete for them at the national.
Yeah, I think I'm afraid that you'd have to maybe contact Martin Mikkelsen, if that would be okay with you, Kurt, because
Sure.
to be honest, who's on that team and who's not, and how they move stuff around, it's a bit of a mystery to me. I know most of the jumpers, but some of them also, let's say, elite military, and maybe they're shipped off to somewhere warm
you never
or
know, right?
cold. So who's doing
Go
what?
to the source.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to the source.
The chance of me telling you something that's not right would be high.
No. So now I would be happy if you could just give me the names, the correct names for the project members. I have the top team. I have that together now, and I know all of them. And, they go way back. A lot of experience in that team, and I look forward to putting this together. Very interesting. And I think we've used up our time here. We'll be thrown out probably pretty soon here.
Thanks for having us, Kurt. Thanks, Hans, for taking the time out of your evening to chit chat.
I'll be more than happy to do it again if you find something that you'd like to talk about.
Let's train first, and then we can come back and tell them how the training camp went.
Yes. Yeah. Good idea.
Thank you very much, guys, and good luck, Hans, and Joey, with the coaching and with the project and stuff. And hopefully the weather will soon end, the health situation will. So we can.
And Kurt, I'll talk to you tomorrow, I guess. We have another one of these.
Tomorrow we have another very special session. We're not going to tell what it's going to be like, but it will be exciting.
Okay, but yeah, we have something a little different, some history, some skydiving history is going to come out tomorrow.
I'll have to watch that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you,
all right,
guys.
Kurt, I've got some things I need to do. Thank you very much, Hans and Kurt. Talk to you later.
Yeah, I hope to see you on Drop Zone very soon.
I hope so too. Good luck, guys. Goodbye.
Thank you, Kurt.
Bye-bye.